And welcome to today's match of the round, coming to you live from Tanunda Oval, Magpie Park, as it was affectionately known by many people during the last 50 odd years. And today we've got the match of the day. Will feature Tanunda, their first home game of the season, taking on Willaston. Should be a really good game. Joining me in commentary today, I've got Dan Eggleton, former president of the Tanunda Football Club, and Wilson McShane for his debut with the South Australian footballer.
How are you, Mr. Teakle?
I'm good, thanks.
Good to see you for the first time this year, and it's a magnificent day to be back here on the home deck at Tanunda, watching the twos go about their business, and bit of rowdiness in the crowd, which is always good fun, and good to see you here, Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah, great day for footy, really.
Mike in.
Absolutely perfect day. Couldn't ask for a better debut. Great to see all the facilities up and running at Tanunda. The $12 million renovations gone well.
The renovations have been fantastic, and you were one of the men originally involved with the scheme to bring this ground up to a level that we see it at now, where it's really going to be a jewel in the Brosses crown going forwards.
No, absolutely. It's been a long process and a lot of people involved, and just glad to see that we've got football back here, and we've got everything up and running as it should be. Just watching a little bit of activity on the ground.
And while the camera is not focused on the ground, at the moment we're looking at a scene on top of the Tanunda box. The flag at half-mast, and we are looking at a bottle of wine, a glass and a microphone. This is a tribute to a life member who passed during February, Ray Giersch, an absolute great man of the Barossa Light and Gawler Association, and a legend of the Tanunda Football Club. A real fitting tribute to a great man who everyone loved. He was a beautiful individual, great timekeeper, and always colourful with his work on the microphone.
Absolutely. Takes the great man, Ray Smiler Giersch. He did pass away at the start of the year. He'll be sadly missed. A man that gave in excess of 55 years continual service to the football club, was the ground announcer, timekeeper for many, many years. Played football here, played cricket, was deeply respected with the cricket club. Actually started his sport up at Kapunda, but got a job down here as an electrician and married a young lady that was local and moved down, and the Tanunda community are still grieving a little bit with the loss of Ray, but a great innings and a great servant, a beautiful man, and well known for his opening remarks every time as the home ground announcer. He'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Magpie Park," and it's something that I don't think anybody will ever replace.
Absolutely, and just a fixture in the timekeeper's box. I had the privilege of timekeeping with him, representing the opposition club, and just an icon of a man, a great human being.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant. He was recognised by the AFL in the Sesquicentenary celebrations. He's on the AFL mural dedicated to that period and the history of the game, and that's a fair testament to a country volunteer, country sport volunteer, and yeah, it's sad that the players today will be wearing armbands remembering Ray, and the bottle signifies the Timekeepers Shiraz, which was made by local winemakers to raise funds for the Tanunda Football Club back in the mid 2000s, and he was very proud to be represented with that, and just a staunch, very proud Tanunda person.
Did Ray play footy at Tanunda, or was he just involved with the club?
No, Ray played reserves here, and I think snuck an A-grade premiership in the 60s, and but actually won a reserves
Association medal.
Yeah, yep. So as the Tanunda players go past,
that was in 1958. He won that medal.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's back in the day when you had reserves and seniors only, essentially, and should have been pretty tough football, I'm sure.
And I remember interviewing Ray on radio one morning years ago on the sports show. He recalled riding his horse from Kapunda to Tanunda to play football.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I heard stories he would he'd work all week, work Saturday mornings, race out, go and play the game, then race off the ground and then be a boundary umpire. And for the A grade, he played a lot of cricket. He umpired cricket. He was patron of both clubs, vice patron at Tanunda for many, many years, and just a part of the fabric of our community.
One of those people that sport doesn't happen without.
Oh, indeed. So,
but yes, Vale, Ray Gish, we will miss you.
Indeed.
And today, perfect weather for football. If you're at home and you're not sure what to do, we love the fact that you're watching us, but even better, get down here to Tanunda. It's the first home game. The brand new facility is here for you to partake in. It's really come up well, and it is first class. You've got to be a part of the atmosphere today at Tanunda. First home game. Tanunda will want to bounce back after a close loss at Angerson last week. Willaston coming off a 6-goal win over Barossa last Saturday night under lights. And both teams really looking to make a strong start in 2024.
I think we're poised for a really good game there, Mike. Last time these sides met, Tanunda had the best of Willaston, beating them by 72 points, and they don't lose on their home deck too often against Willaston.
14 in the last 14 years, only twice have Willaston won here.
Yeah, they've built a bit of a fortress, and I think the new facilities are just going to add to that, really. Good crowd as well today, it has to be said. Rowdy.
It'll get rowdy. There will be there'll be no quarters given at all. These two clubs have a long history of fighting it out to the end in more ways than one. And yes, it was last year was a bit of redemption, a little bit. I think the corresponding game earlier in the season down at Willaston's home ground was similarly poised, but the other direction. And so Sponsors Day here last year was quite a celebration.
Yes, and these two teams, they haven't liked each other a lot over the journey, have they?
Probably since they came into the competition, I think, since Willaston came into the Barossa competition. So yeah, it's there's been a fair bit of activity between them, but it will be interesting to see. And we've got, there's some cross connection too. If you take whereas young Max Fraser for Willaston played all of his junior football pretty well here up until under 7/8.
Yes.
So and his father's a leading goal kicker twice here in the 80s.
Yes. And
now, just sorry to interrupt you there, Mike, but on Fraser, I've heard him and Jackson Doherty like to get into a couple scraps. Apparently, that's the word on the street.
I'm not surprised at that at all, and
It'll be interesting
forward
to see
to that matchup.
Plays out today.
Former teammates.
I don't think there's any love lost. So let's hope Doco plays the ball, and so does Max, and let's see the best of them. Both very talented footballers.
Yes. And there's a number of changes for both teams during the off-season, as always happens. But what I'm looking for this year is some of the players who started to shine for Tanunda last year, the young brigade that started coming through. I was so impressed with them last year. I'm hoping that they're allowed to play their style of footy today.
Absolutely. Well, you got young Thomas Hahn's been elevated to the leadership group. You've got Isaac Veltis, who didn't play last year. He's coming back into it. We've got the return of Lewis Cowan, the son of a gun. And then, as we go down, we've mentioned Doherty. Jack May's going to be fitter and healthier.
Hugh
coming
Smart's
back.
another player that I really like the look of.
Just a smooth mover.
Young Harry Porter's another superstar in the making.
And again, another father-son.
Yes.
That's come back. But lads like Hamish Martin, Jack Collins, these guys that are at the really quite young end of it are people to look forward to. I'm pleased to see Shay Linky coming back after his stint with Central Districts. And, for Bailey Smith, who's a young 23, 24-year-old fella, to now hold the captaincy of this club is fantastic, and he's an outstanding young man, fantastic off and on the field.
Yes, and really good to see another leader coming through and taking the mantle from the great Tanunda captains of the past.
No, indeed. So there's plenty of experience on both lists. There's a lot of games there, a lot of SANFL games, and a smattering of AFL through there as well.
Yes.
Who are you backing?
I'm probably going to take Tanunda at home. I think Willaston, they've added to their list, but they've added to the midfield. I think they still lack size, they still lack speed. And I think they're going to find it very hard to kick goals today.
Yeah, and I think it has to be said, the absence of Jake Sutcliffe in the Tanunda side as well will probably give Willaston a sniff, you think?
That does move the needle slightly towards Willaston, but I think that Tanunda, being at home, first home game always gives you a lift, and I think that they have a chance to really come through. Willaston still, they're going to struggle for goals. Nick Lehman is the man for Willaston. He kicked 34 goals last year in his first year in the league, and I think he'll be better this year for having that experience within the BLG. It's not a league that's easy to come into from the outside because it's a very contested style of footy.
Dan?
I think Lehman could be the one.
From what I've seen, though, you have a look at, you got a few solid boys. Zach East keeps rolling up. He's an undoubted talent. The experience of Sam Walton might not be moving that fast these days, but he's just slick with his hands, and he's got a bit of grunt. And then, of course, you got Izzy McKenzie. We all know the quality of that player, and he's outstanding. So, when it all's said and done, I'm gonna jump on Tanunda by 3 goals.
Tanunda by 3 goals?
I think it'll be fair. It's absolutely perfect day for footy. There's no excuses, and you'd want to be putting your best foot forward on a day like today.
Absolutely. This is the day to get it done. Tanunda do not want to go 0-2, and Willaston see a real opportunity to get a better start than they had last year and set their season up early.
Absolutely. We've got the players making their way to their positions now. I'm just trying to work out who number 38 is for Tanunda on the wing. Not exactly sure.
Not listed.
Not listed as 38, so we'll have to have a look at that.
Long-haired running machine.
Looks like he's got, looks a fairly fit young fella there. And we've got Cahoon in the middle for Tanunda, the playing coach. Got big Todd Falkenberg in the ruck.
And a healthy Todd Falkenberg makes a big difference to Tanunda. They missed him a lot last year, and he changes the narrative for the Magpies completely.
Absolutely, and Campbell Wildman there in the middle. And I think we've also got...
That's Saxon Evans for...
Saxon Evans, a really good ruckman.
For Willaston there.
Last year was floating between SANFL footy and Willaston.
That's a good defensive mark there by Ben Schiller.
Chance for them to move the ball forward now. Going down the outer wing. Good ball picked up at the back of that pack. That handball back there.
Shay Linky using the ball beautifully there for Tanunda. A long ball forward to Voigt.
It's a shallow entry. Look at this.
That'll be Campbell Wildman.
Campbell Wildman. That is a beautiful pickup on the run. And beautiful balance to nail the opening goal of the game. That's first blood to the Pies.
Also note too that we've got Ryan Watson, ex-Barossa District.
Yes, I'm actually going to
Jared Trainer.
name him as the low-key recruit of the year.
Absolutely.
Ryan Watson, he's an in and under player. Middle of the year when it's wet, he gets better.
Absolutely. Multiple premiership player down at Ross Districts. Runs his business from here in Tanunda. The kids all go to school here now, and it's good to see. Okay, Jackson Doherty being tackled heavily there.
Great tackle by Wills there.
That was Wills, was it?
Just running in, nailed him. That ball gets out the back.
Falkenberg
could
with
be
that
on for
tap.
a goal there. Tanunda look like they've got an extra behind the footy as well, boys. Looks like
That's the way they like to play. Falkenberg with another tap. No clearance there for Earlham, looks like.
Pretty handy with Matthew Westhoff just rolling around there off the ball a bit, playing a bit standoff.
And umpire McGann paying a free kick Tanunda's way. So we'll see Wildman again to clear. No, Falkenberg it is. He
Falkenberg puts it up in a dangerous spot.
And
That's
fly
Linky.
there. Couldn't take it. Then recovers. That's a kick around the corner. That bounce, really cruel, but bounce
Straight to
back.
Thomas Hahn.
Thomas Hahn with the second goal. That's quick footy. That's good footy.
Great attack at the ball. Really focused there by young Linky, and Thomas Hahn's attack then.
That was hard running.
That's gut running, isn't it?
great pick up from Linky there. Just hit it on the run. Hard to tackle someone when you hit it that fast.
The Tanunda coach would be thrilled with that running without the ball from Hahn there. He worked hard to get to that position. There was every other player just sat back thinking it's going to go through.
Bounced on the end though.
It did bounce.
Terrible for the defender.
But that's the running you have to do and make your own luck.
Absolutely.
Hahn on the forward flank there, just roaming the pack pretty well. Getting in a dangerous spot.
Ball up again.
Mackenzie and Wildman in the centre is going to be a cracking duel, I think.
Kick off the ground. Willaston now with the ball into the open. That's a terrible kick into the forward 50. And that's a powerful tackle applied there.
Wills tackling Doherty there. That was a tough tackle.
Early days, boys, so that's 2 centre clearances now to Willaston. I think that's just Saxon Evans' dominance in the ruck there.
Willaston player wrapped up there immediately. No room to move. Tanunda, a lot of players back there in defence. Showing a willingness to get back and support. Evans with the tap.
Wildman out, quick hands to Doherty.
Wildman's reading the ball well off Evans at the moment.
It's really clean. It's hard to pick a Willaston player that's actually demanding the ball off the ruckman's hand.
I know they put a lot of work into their stoppages. I was talking with them before and they were going through their ruck setups and it was very intricate, maybe too intricate.
Westhoff just playing that kick off the ball as well. How does he play that role, Dan?
Oh, it's been a trademark of his.
There we go.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the Wilson player couldn't maintain hold of the ball, so Tanunda have wrapped it up yet again. And we'll have another stoppage again, same sort of area, that 35 metres out from goal.
Typical of Tyson Earlham getting out from underneath the pack there.
And
Quick kick by
Colmoon.
A bit of soccer magic there.
Ball into the open.
Jack May down the wing. It's a very clever
There's the ball
mark
down
there.
the line. Trent Gers takes the mark. He's got a chance to clear the area now for the Pies.
Doesn't have
slows
much
things
to
down.
go.
Goes right down the wing. And big fly there. That kick around the corner.
Oh, well
Walherder set
rode.
himself under the ball there. Brought the ball to ground.
Lewis Cowan takes the ball over.
Walherder, I refer to him as Frankenstein's footballer because he looks like he's been put together in a lab. Rough head, big arms, big legs, and a big torso.
Big unit. Oh, Izzy McKenzie, just clean.
Oh, to Fry. That's a beautiful pass.
Great football.
And sells a bit of candy, runs around.
Josh Hoskins just sold.
Justin
a heap
Hoskin.
Justin Hoskin.
Over 200 games of league footy and just showed his class there. That kick out of the pack, really not going anywhere. Wasted opportunity there for Willaston.
That's what Westhoff does.
And he
reads it so well.
gets someone up with a beautiful clean kick.
And Tanunda just flooded back really well there. Willaston had the footy. I reckon there were 3 or 4 spare Tanunda players as they went forward. Westhoff, one of them, mopping up again.
Good gut running. And nice clean ball use. They've always had their time getting out of the back half.
Gers now, he's got the experience to slow it down. Goes long down the outer wing. Oh. Wilson players wrapped up, driven into the ground. Some really good tackling so far today, both teams.
There'll be no shortage of physicality in this game.
Some real big bodies on both sides. Wills, I think, he's going to put a hurt on a few players this year.
I think so. I think he's got a bit of Byron Pickett about him, I think.
Yeah, a fair bit of beef through the torso.
Out of bounds on the full. A bit of a wasted sort of an effort, that one there by the Tanunda midfield. Goes to Holloway. Holloway with a worm burner, and he's handed the ball straight over. Straight to Cahoon. The run off the half back line's fantastic for Tanunda. Long with a great touch, straight to Linky.
Linky rolls through. There's another goal for the Pies.
Beautiful touch by Jared Trainer there, just to put it straight into his lap.
That's fast footy. That's what I want to see from the Magpies in 24. Last year they were very hesitant, didn't allow those young players to flourish, and I think that's a perfect sign when you've got young talent like Shay Linky. Get the ball in there, let the young man go to work.
Absolutely. I think there's a name in the assistant coaches that harks to elevating those sort of kids, and it'd be Steve Lumpy.
When I heard that, I was kind of excited on one hand that he was going to bring something special back to Tanunda, but I was also worried as a supporter of another club about how good the Magpies will become with him back on the sideline.
That was Tanunda's third inside 50, and that's their third score as well. So when they're going forward, they're looking effective, whereas Willaston just don't quite look like they're as dangerous when they go forward.
Moving the ball. Not the best kick. They just let Westhoff float through at the back of the pack. That handball across. Colhoun now. Beautiful user of the footy. Out to the wing. Now Wildman. He's turning the game alight. Look at him. 2 bounces. That handball off. Setting up with that kick.
Out in front of Linky. Run on football.
Out in front. And Linky
right,
evades the tackle beautifully. And he has another goal. That's 2 goals for Linky.
Classy stuff.
That is superb football.
Wilson, I take your point that when Wilson's had plenty of the ball until it gets inside their forward 50, and it's that gut running by the half-back line of Tanunda that's getting that kick back, and it's actually cutting it off, and then that width and spread they're creating leads to those goals, and it's really good. It's actually really simple footy, but
and the quality of ball use Tanunda coming in from half-back, when you've got the likes of Gers and Colhoun using the ball across half-back, it's elite.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Whereas in the last few years, Gers has had to play in the middle and a lot through the forward line, but now he's using the patience that he has and the elite foot skills from half-back. It just elevates Colhoun's presence even more.
I'd love to see Zach East from Willaston just keep Westhoff a bit more accountable, because that's his second intercept mark now.
As a free kick paid there for a push. Willaston coming in, that's Waldhurter. He needs to get dangerous around that area. He can kick it from here. There's no wind.
Zach's role almost would be to nullify.
He lays it off, looking for a target. And again, well defended by Tanunda. It was just put up on his head, made it easy for the defender in that situation. That was Bailey Smith, the captain, with a good spoil there.
Excellent running. I reckon number 38 is a young Linky. I'm trying to look at who that is. We can't find him anywhere on the list here.
Evans with another tap. Willaston unable to take advantage.
That was Doherty.
Kick out of the contest. Ball bounces for the Willaston. Well, bounces out to the back. Willaston have got people there.
Plenty of numbers, but again, pressure forces the ball out of bounds on the foot.
Tanunda are working harder. That's the difference. They're working hard and they're making space for their team, allowing a contest. Willaston, they're not getting dangerous at all. East, we mentioned on Westhoff, he's not demanding the ball. He's not dragging Westhoff to a position. That's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
If he's not going to get dangerous, they've got to get him out and get someone who will.
That, and I think they're not quite moving the ball fast enough. When Tanunda go, they're out. We've seen Wildman take a couple of bounces.
Grab in the forward pocket here. Quick ball out.
That's out on the fall.
It's Sam Walton there. That's 3.
He'll be filthy
errors,
on that.
3 critical errors, giving the ball over. It's almost unforgivable. Well, they've moved it 3/4 of the way down the field because I don't believe Hopeless is the goal umpire at that end, so we'll leave that to others to decide.
And taken.
Lehman.
It's from Tanunda. So again, we're looking at the stark contrast here as Trainer comes in from 25 metres out directly in front. Great kicking action, and we'll mark that one down again.
What's Trainer's history, Daniel?
Been up here, this is his 2nd season playing at Tanunda. Played all of his football with his 2 other brothers down at Barossa Districts. Lives in the town, works in the town. Has been, actually, if I remember rightly, he probably spent more time in our club rooms after games than in his own. So went to school with all the lads up here, and circumstances prevailed. He ended up moving in and playing the last 2 seasons, and it's great to see a fellow like that continue to play football, and it would have been easy.
Could have easily walked away from the game.
Could have lost a bit of love for it, and it's been rekindled, so we're really pleased with that. And, last year's corresponding game with the Barossa Districts had a little bit of spice to it with the boys, but they got over it pretty quick. Another tap in Tanunda's direction out of the centre. Isaiah McKenzie's got a beautiful pick up and a great shove off.
Goes with that left foot. He's found someone with a bit of space. Goes long out to the other side to a 1-on-1. Well recovered from the Willaston player. Gets the handball off, and that little chip kick finds a target 38 metres from goal.
Great football from Isaiah McKenzie there. Shrugged him off like Harley Reid, and then got the return and great kick.
Young Groudon playing off the wing there, but they've wasted the ball. Willaston trying to be too cute. It's a shank kick into the foot, deep forward 50.
But that at least gave their forwards a chance. They moved it quickly, so Tanunda couldn't get their numbers back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They kicked to an even number there. Most times when they've been going in, it's been an uneven number. It's good. It was good. They moved it a bit quicker, even though it was ugly footy. It looked better.
So Tanunda moving it out there. Wildman taking the kick out to Westhoff. Westhoff, beautiful delivery to Guilfoy. Guilfoy's moved down to the wing, and he's drilling ball to a leading Trainer that's picked up by Watson. Watson, great handball over to a roving 6'5" Shay Linky. He's picked up the ball again and has been unceremoniously ripped off of the ball, and the free kick is paid to Willaston.
Willaston now looking to move the ball a little bit quicker. They've got spread through the middle of the ground. That's better for Willaston. Now they've got some run.
Mackenzie's long ball into forward
Very
50.
long kick, but Westhoff had front position the whole time. That's unacceptable.
While Westhoff did mark it there, it was a great kick into the middle of the ground, and we haven't seen enough from him.
Oh, there's a great contest between 2 players, and Mackenzie shows his class and poise as Willaston has their first really purposeful shot on goal.
And just offline, but that's better football from the Donnybrooks. That's what we want to see.
A bit more of that pace and spread you were talking about before, Wilson, and it's that they do have some pace there, they just haven't been allowed to use it.
And perhaps a little bit of heat's gone out of the game from Tanunda.
He might have overused it, and he still gets away with it.
Finds a target on the outer side. They go wider again.
Cowan out to Calhoun.
They've got runners. Calhoun's within range. He goes for home.
I love the way that Wildman didn't panic there.
Goal.
And that was a great finish there.
Calhoun, an absolute beautiful finish from the best kick in the competition.
But again, started from Wildman, almost got run down, but he just had enough poise to find a target despite being run down, and then it was a great finish.
Great awareness, and you can only imagine that a lot of that awareness is created by good talk as well. Really good communication right across all the lines. For those that have watched a fair bit of Tanunda footy, not uncommon to see the former premiership skipper down back, Ben Schiller, with a bit of tape wrapped around his head already.
He should just wear it as a headband every week. Yes. Ball in the middle again. Really good tackling. No room for Willaston to clear.
So here's something for you. This shows flexibility. You've got Shay Linky now at 6'4", 6'5", running in midfield.
And
umpire's bringing it back.
we see a change on the bench here.
Young Porter going on for Collins.
Here we go, Falkenberg, with the kick here.
Big Voigt.
Big Henry Voigt.
Kicking it to Linky.
Oh,
Shay Linky.
big mark. He is really starting to look imposing.
Already, if he kicks this, it's already 35 points. We're going to really need to see Willaston turn it around quickly if there's any chance to win this game.
Yes, currently on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, Tanunda 6-2-38, leading Willaston 3 behinds. As Linky comes in now, and that is a really good kick off the boot. He's drilled another one. That's already 3 for the young man.
So Shay Linky 2 or 3 years ago was touted as a first round draft pick at the AFL. An incident in the river on draft week means that he was injured in a nasty incident. Never really got back to that level again. Did make league at Central Districts, but has since decided that he wanted to come home. He's back to the farm, and he's also working away, using his skills.
How old would he be?
He's only 22. Yeah, he's a very young man. Very young man.
Future of the club there.
Absolutely.
As we see the ball in the middle again, Tanunda, they get another clearance.
Wildman to Cahoon.
And the other taken. It's just, they're getting in front. And that's a beautiful smother there. And he recovers from his own smother. Good hands. Willaston through the middle now. They go further afield by hand. Finally a kick in to the forward line, but really poor. Just hit a Tanunda defender on the chest.
Had 10 metres in front of him as well there. Just needed to lower the eyes a bit. Instead, blazed away and turned the ball over.
Just sometimes that short step you take before you kick, just so you can bring it down and put it in the favour of your leading forward, pays dividends. They've wasted so much ball going forward.
And Tanunda going long down the outer side.
Linky again.
Linky, wow. He's untouchable at the moment. And that's 2 players in Wildman and Linky who are setting this game alight.
Absolutely. The handball behind causes trouble for the Willaston player over there. With a good kick into the middle. Is it a run that we wanted to see?
That's out in front, but well defended there. Waldhuter recovers and soccers the ball towards the goals, but it's going to trickle out of bounds. And East, just frustration there. That could be a 25-metre penalty.
It should be, to be honest.
It really should.
That wasn't East, actually. That's Nick Lehman.
Yeah. Nick Lehman very frustrated there.
I believe the umpire's missed a trick there on that one, because that's not on.
That's time wasting. As Westhoff coming out.
No, that'd be...
it was Guilfoy.
Guilfoy.
He would be very unhappy with that.
That's really, really not good. Connolly to bring the ball in with a gift.
Well, a floater, but hits a teammate on the chest, but he's fumbled the easiest of marks.
McKenzie surprised him.
And, surprised him that it didn't hit a Tanunda player.
That's it. Now, Mash Fry's rebounding now. Waldhuter. That's a better use of ball. And better presentation.
And Waldhooter is the player that needs to be steaming out from full forward. He's a big target. He can impose himself on the game. It's quarter time now at Tanunda. Waldhooter will take his shot after the siren, and he will be kicking from just outside 40.
Margin is 41 points at the moment.
They really need this, is an understatement. It's long, doesn't sound happy with it.
There was a cry of anguish, and I can understand why.
So, on the Burge Barossa scoreboard at quarter time, Tanunda dominantly 7-2, leading Willaston 4 minor scores, just the lowly 4 points.
I'm looking through Willaston's list here. There's a few players which I've really enjoyed their game. Isaiah McKenzie's one of their shining lights, I think. He's looked really good, despite dropping a chest mark towards the end, which would have been nice for him to finish the quarter off. He's been good in the middle. He's had 2 or 3 clearances. And Lehman's the other one, which I think has looked a little bit dangerous when they've gone forward.
I'd have to agree. I actually can't recall seeing anyone else that's noted. It's really hard to watch, to be honest. And Fry's had little bits and pieces, but he hasn't been consistent. Clinch has done little tiny bits and pieces, but
they need Justin Hoskin to stand up. He's been touted as the big recruit, and so he should be. He's a classy player, and we need to see some of that now. He needs to get some space.
He might have 18 friends that'll need to stand up as
perhaps,
well.
But he possibly needs his fellow midfielders to just lay a little shepherd here or there and get him some space in the middle of the ground.
The other one which early on I think really impressed was Donald Wills. He came out, looked quite aggressive, but then just towards the end of the quarter really faded, and that aggression, I think because the game probably sped up and there was a bit more uncontested play, he faded out of it. But I'd like to see Willaston come out this quarter with probably a bit more aggression, because I think
aggression's never been a problem with Willaston. It's where they use it. It's going to be how they do it. The interesting thing that I note here, I don't know about you, but the players are inside the square at the break. I didn't think that was allowed to start.
Yes, it is.
Is it? I didn't realise. Secondly, the other question needs to be asked: can Tanunda kick a cricket score? No, fair call. I think we've got 7 goals up, quarter time.
Yes.
It could be a matter of how far now.
That could be, but the onus is on Willaston to shut that down, and they've got to capitalise on Saxon Evans' dominance in the ruck and find a way, perhaps even if they just have him punch the ball forward and gain some territory into space and run onto it.
It's going to be interesting to see, because otherwise this could be, well, it already is a pretty one-sided affair so far. It could get very quickly totally out of control.
I'd like to see Willaston really take advantage of their centre clearance dominance, which towards the end of the quarter it did fade, but early on, when they had the ability to go 6 on 6 and kick to even numbers, that's when they've looked at their most dangerous. So if they can capitalise on that centre clearance dominance, that's when they're going to be able to score.
They've also got to find a way to stop Tanunda flowing through the middle of the ground with the likes of Wildman just tearing the game apart, and put someone in front of Shea Lenke perhaps. You can't allow him a clean run at the ball. That's what we've seen. Whether it's in the air or on the ground, if you give him a clean run at it, he will kill you.
Willaston's inside 50s. They had plenty of inside 50s.
Yes, but they were shallow, poor entries.
Coughed it up. Poor entries, lack of system, lack of accountability. You got a couple of blokes in there that look like they haven't had a decent run, or I don't know. There's just no system. They look really quite poor, and it actually showed that Tanunda's defence, well organised, patient, disciplined, played them to the tee, and I think there's a lot to be said for the method of play. The method of play for Tanunda that just it excludes Willaston's involvement.
For sure, I think we can't discredit that Tanunda just really did play a good quarter. Although Willaston did stuff and a lot of things up that they would admittedly say, Tanunda played some pretty impressive footy, I thought.
Absolutely.
And while we're here at quarter time, I'm just going to throw a little shout out to one of Tanunda's sponsors, the Barossa Valley Brewing Company. I want to thank them for sponsoring Tanunda and for the product that we've been supplied with up here in the commentary position.
Yeah, we've graduated from water to a sparkling adult drink, and it's quite refreshing on such a beautiful day here at Tanunda. Used to be called Postcard Park. Now it's just a wonderful country footy ground. Absolutely beautiful.
Very picturesque. The sun bathing the oval at the moment. As the ball goes up again, Evans with yet another tap. Bounces around.
Walton completely overran the ball then.
Managed to get back and force a contest. Fry put his head over it.
Interesting, Willaston not playing a sweeper role there behind the footy. They've got that much confidence in Saxon Evans to win the ruck. They're not even bothering about having someone sweep.
What with the ball, it's a quick kick out.
There's McKenzie again.
Falkenberg, Hahn
Hahn with the
down
handball.
to Porter.
Porter goes to ground, but he keeps the footy. Moved it well. That kick's going to go out of bounds on the full, but it was a positive mistake.
Absolutely, and again, pace at the ball, whereas Willaston overran the ball, fumbled it, looked really ordinary.
Willaston chance to bring the ball out now.
Watson to clinch. Clinch now waiting
Clinch
for
is a
somebody to
beautiful
move.
user. He comes out to the near side. That's a really...
Westhoff was
that was
unfortunate
very
there.
close to a mark there. I thought he had most of that. And good smother from Watson.
No left foot.
He brings so much to this Magpie outfit.
Great kick.
Great kick. That was a fantastic kick there by
That was
Henschke.
Henschke,
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
He
mark.
had a left foot.
Here we are, Hoskin. Range might be an issue, so he's going to have to look to pass,
Kicking
I
into a
think.
slight breeze there as well.
Yes, the breeze has picked up slightly.
Giving it the arc.
Given it plenty and almost all the way.
Well defended.
Comes
well
to ground.
played. Wildman
Under
out
there. Wildman with
No.
another kick, but he's kicked that out on the full. But again, he's picked up the ball at the front of the contest where no one else was.
Absolutely. It was beautifully crumbed there and pushed out by Westhoff, who was, again, was there to spoil but then backed it up and was able to clear it at the same time. There's some heavy defensive work going on in the goal square.
Leads
Davis
on now.
plays on.
A really good punch there. And free kick going the way of Tanunda. Was a push.
Not happy with that, Lehman.
Oh.
Arguing his case.
He's losing his cool a little bit, and he's a player that Wilson need to sort of keep his head.
Smith to Schiller. Schiller plays on. Nice little kick. And there's that man, Wildman. He's got his own football today.
He's hit a target nicely.
Collins.
They've got players working hard. Big lead in the middle of the
Hahn.
ground there. Hahn, I really love the way he attacks the footy.
Some real classy names there in that passage.
Cat's Head is his nickname.
It's a big, not the prettiest of kicks, up and under. There was a push paid, and going the way of Willaston.
Yep. Young Evans getting the free kick. From
Lays it off to Fry, who's their quarterback. And he's their distributor off halfback, and they use him well.
Cormac into Wills. A bit of a patient build up here, working the ball around. Free kick given.
All set up with Saxon Evans there, and I'm liking the way that he's early in the first quarter. He was looking for a cheap 45 kick, but just then positioned himself behind the footy. I'm not sure if that was a directive at quarter time from the coach, but
I'm sure Herzig would have drilled that into him.
As
It's
we
gonna be a
see
cheap
mark
shot on
taken
goal,
here by
isn't it?
Josh Waldhuter. He'll be
Free
lining
kick
up for,
off the ball.
sorry, free kick off the ball. He'll be lining up from a pretty good spot here. He needs to convert this desperately. That's an understatement. Goes back, kicks through it nicely, and
Faded across the face.
made the goal umpire do a fair bit of work. So it's another minor score for Willaston, who are yet to reach 6 points.
Quick ball out. Oh no, that's another shocking kick out of the back line from
Guilfoy. That's 2 he's done now. He will be filthy with himself. I might not have talked to him after the game.
Again, clean running ball out of the back lines here for Tanunda. Into space, kick into the ground. Jack May, Tommy Hahn. No, well played there by Cormac. Beautiful use of the ball.
And Sammy Walton spreads the ball, puts it into space in front of a teammate. And shot on goal.
And he's missed it. Well, they've made a goal.
Yes.
The hard way.
But that was better from Willaston. Connolly missed the goal at the end, but the movement there, got it to Walton, who patiently turned and put it out in front of a teammate in space, rather than just turning and going kicking to the goal square.
Sammy Walton these days looks like he's turning like the QE2 though.
He's not as agile as he was. He started his stretching at 8 o'clock this morning.
Hear him creaking.
I'm sure his wife's probably at home watching.
That was their best passage of play. They looked fluent there. Mackenzie again out of the middle.
Henschke,
flying shot on goal. And there it is. Zach Henschke, Willaston's first major.
Needs something special from the boundary line. They made it happen.
That's a really impressive shot. As they move to 1-6-12, trailing Tanunda 7-2, 44 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard.
They would quite comfortably say that Willaston's actually dominated the first 5-7 minutes of the quarter.
They have.
They've played it all in their forward line pretty well, and you would think it's a 10-goal breeze blowing, and there isn't.
No.
Perfect though footy. I would suggest that Hersey has absolutely given somebody a bake in there. We couldn't quite hear it from here, but
that's why they moved into the square.
It's stark.
4 inside 50s to 1 early in the second, just back your point up there.
Good having a stats man, because I'm no good with numbers.
That's why we've got him. You can't count, that's the problem, Dan.
I've still got my shoes on.
And Evans with another tap. Mackenzie tried to hack that off the ground, but good recovery there for Tanunda.
That's it. Wow. That was almost a fantastic mark.
It was. And Linky was down at ground level trying to get it, but now Fry with that. That's an ugly floater, but it's come off. He's found a teammate.
Definitely has been a change in discipline and willingness to work.
And Tyson Earlham pushing right back into defence there. He's leading from the front.
That's excellent.
That's really good ball movement, and Waldherden now presenting as a threat.
And it's been their star players that have really stood up. Like you look in that last passage of play, it was Clinch, Earlham, and now Waldherden has got a shot on goal. So
absolutely, and I think you need that to rise, or else they were in danger of getting absolutely rolled over.
And Waldherden goes back. They like it. And it's through for their second major of the quarter. And a little bit of life here with the Donnybrooks. This is what we wanted to see. We want a really good game. This is really good. But, Dan, while we've got a moment, I want to talk to you about this bottle of wine that's sitting on the table in front of us. Ben Murray Wine. This is your baby. And this is a 2022 Grenache.
Yeah, not released yet, so we thought we'd give it a bit of a go before it gets publicly released. But finished vintage last night, pressed out the last ferment. So glad it's over. It's always been an interesting time of the year, and in the Barossa here, grape growing's a big part of what we do in winemaking, obviously.
Ball up again, and that's better. Put it out into space, and that run. That's something they haven't had. That's beautiful. That ball goes deep to a one-on-one.
I love Mackenzie's cleanliness in the middle. He just always finds a target, it seems like.
He is definitely a cut above most players in country footy.
Young Evans now has pulled back, whereas previously he was getting sucked into the forward 50 at these stoppages. He's holding back, so there's obviously been a clear direction for him to be utilised in that way.
Ball goes over the boundary line. So we'll have a ball in probably 25 metres around from Willaston's goal. They really are applying a bit of pressure now.
Little push and shove between goals and Willaston players.
Gers and Lehman. I think they'll be, believe me, Gers will not back away from How's Your Father?
He's small, but he's hard.
Yeah.
A very accomplished boxer in the amateur levels.
Yes.
May have been hit in the head too many times.
I don't know if he gets hit a lot, actually. Very quick. Cahoon out. Young Linky sets himself for a grab. Hamish Martin wraps up the Willaston player high.
And Willaston, free kick. They drive the ball into their forward line.
Oh, Martin's limping off with a crook ankle.
It's Heath Growden that's starting to get a bit of the ball for the Donnybrooks. Ball in dispute. Strong tackle there. But Growden getting active across half forward now. He's created several of those entries.
Absolutely.
6 inside 50s to 1.
Ball up at the top of the goal square. And third man up with the tap. We'll see a bit of that from Willaston in their forward line. With Evans
throw out.
With
Evans
Evans
a stark
sitting
contrast
out.
to the first. Willaston seem to be all over Tanunda right now.
It is so different. Are we at a different ground? I don't know. What happened at quarter time? Did Tanunda go to sleep?
And the umpires pulled out a free kick, going the way of Willaston.
I think that count would be interesting to look at as well.
And Henschke will take his second shot on goal for the game. And that was ugly, but it swung back. If you bowled that in Test cricket, the batsman would laugh and then get out.
That was an incredible outswinger, and but they don't draw pictures in the scorebook.
He's just kicked a goal from 50 on the boundary, beautiful kick, and then he dishes up that. Doesn't matter how they come though, he'll take it.
Absolutely.
They don't draw pictures in the score column.
So at the end of the day, we're looking at a vast difference in game quality that's come out, and the scoreboard shows it.
Suddenly, Willaston are right back in this game. They're now 20 points down, whereas they were 40 points down early in the quarter. It's a huge turnaround in a short space of time. And the ball going forward for Willaston again.
Evans to Mackenzie is...
That's a really good tackle, but free kick going the way of
Linky
Tanunda.
never even took possession of the ball, which is unfortunate. But so now we're waiting to see if we can see Tanunda actually get back to
the
moving the ball forward.
That's a really good mark taken there.
That's Cowham.
And we haven't seen a lot of him yet, but that's a beautiful take. And a good strong mark in defence there.
Cormac over Hahn there, just that bit of extra strength in the body, better read,
bit of size.
Looks like Evans just in the middle, in the centre clearance.
That's a really good mark.
He's not worrying about just his beautiful tap work, he's just getting it on, and I'm liking it.
Well, you said at quarter time, maybe that's what needs to happen, and I think that a positive movement is the key.
To the wing now for Willaston. Tanunda have got players, they're happy to run it over the boundary line as Douse. So ball in, almost in front of our commentary position. And
beautiful tap.
Voigt, two-handed tap. There's Fry at the front of that contest.
Dropped the ball.
He did drop the ball there. And the free kick has gone against him, but he's dealt with, and the umpires just let that go. A little bit surprised by that. The umpire was right on scene.
Geez, Willaston have really dodged the bullet there. Linky was out by himself if they were able to get it on fast there.
He had a paddock, and arguably the most dangerous forward on the ground.
All in, tap for Willaston, comes
Speaking
down.
of,
Linky with that kick around the corner.
Umpire calls play on.
What did
And here's Earlham, he's ridden into the ground.
Touched. It was 15 metres, so it must have been touched.
There wasn't anybody at Linky's boot, so we're trying to work out what happened there.
Ball up. Evans goes up. And there's a quick kick around the corner.
Oh, talking isn't there.
Good pick up now. Growden, he gets the clear and kick away. It's ugly. It bounces poorly.
Smith was being held.
Waldherter got the ball away. Hoskin back to Waldherter. Waldherter handball to Earlham, who palms it off to Hoskin. That's a short kick, really well hit up for the forward there.
Great footy from Waldherter there, 2-on-1, and just made that look really easy. That was really impressive.
Too big, too strong. Size does matter.
Kept his eye on the ball too. The Tanunda clash at centre half forward was, unforgivable. Those two guys should never have been committed to the same ball. And again, comes down to communication.
Come back now. Long kick at goal. They like it. Willaston really are back in this game.
So that's young Lehman there, I think.
Yes.
Just dominating inside 50s as well. 7-2 this quarter. Looking the goods.
Really good to watch the way they're playing now. If they'd done this from the start of the game, imagine what we'd be seeing score-wise.
Well, if they're able to go into half-time with a small deficit, then I think they would be laughing, and they're right in this game.
They would be loving this right now because Tanunda, for all the buffer they'd built up, it's gone.
Where's that pace? Where's that considered ball movement? Where's the width in the game?
Tanunda haven't had possession this quarter.
And I'd love to see when they do, if they just do what they did in the first, just be patient and slow it down, because at the minute, it's all the Donny.
Here we go. Tanunda have got the ball out.
Out to May. Doherty looking to go long.
Does just that. He's got players at the fall of the ball. It's Colhoun.
Linky fast out to Colhoun.
Watson.
To no one. Hahn.
Little kick
out. Louis Cowan.
Cowan goes from
Cowan
distance.
with a long shot
and
at goal.
that came back beautifully. Lewis Cowan. Much needed goal for Tanunda there. And after the first quarter, it's hard to think that we're saying it's a much needed goal, but they really did need that one.
Great football from Tanunda, but poor from Willaston. He had a paddock space by himself for a long time. It just the midfielders needed to be a little bit more accountable there.
You're absolutely right. The ability for Hahn to walk his way through three players then and find Cowan free on the flank was just... It's in stark contrast to what we've seen them do for the rest of the quarter.
And Wilson, your point there about the midfielders needing to work harder, I have a concern about Williston's midfield. There's a lot of talent there, a lot of good skills, but not much speed. And it's whether they can get to that contest.
Can they run 4 quarters?
Correct.
Cowan in the middle there. Earlham kicking it forward deep.
And good one-on-one there for Waldherter. Ball just clears him.
Mackenzie just seems to be in all of Williston's centre clearances. He's a centre clearance machine.
He is a machine, and he's reading the tap of his ruckman's hand. Beautifully.
Ned Kelly looking... great.
Kick around the corner. And there it is, another goal for the Donnybrooks. They are right back in this clash.
Just as you were talking about speed, he hits that on the run. Great goal and finish from Wills.
And Wills, we were saying late in the first quarter, had dropped out of the contest a little bit. But it's little things like that that he can do to be influential. Doesn't have to get high number of touches or be prolific. It's about what he does in the moment.
Absolutely. The brigade of kids out the back are having to jump the fence to go and get the football.
I love the way Wills just, again, hasn't had much of the footy, but he just accelerates really quickly off 5 metres, and that's all it takes. You wouldn't want to get in his way when he does come at you, I don't think.
No, absolutely, and that's what he's there for. Small crumbing forward, quick hands out, snap over the shoulder.
Ball up. Evans gets that tap back again. Wildman with the kick off the deck.
Linky again, but he's just
couldn't pick that one up.
Himself.
Had a little bit of pressure on his hammer at that time.
He's down.
Good smother there.
centre clearances even despite Saxon Evans' dominance in the ruck. 3-3.
And with the way the Willaston have been scoring this quarter, you wouldn't think that would be the case.
It does show that follow-up pressure for the first half of this quarter that Willaston have brought to the game around the stoppages.
And ball up on the outer side. Quick kick out of the stoppage. It's into space. Tanunda player fumbled that.
You could see that happening
now
from a
wrapped
mile
up.
away. 2 Tanunda players sitting behind the footy by themselves, and I think it might have been Wills even just in the corridor. He needed to push across and make a contest with those 2 Tanunda players. It was fortunate that the kick spilled and they were able to get a ball up, but that's a huge win for Willaston.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it was going to be a repeat.
Tanunda was out.
Yeah.
Straight away. It's handling error cost them.
Ball up again. Tanunda with the tap. Umpires found
Mackenzie
He's going to
every
repeat ball
time,
up.
just watching him, he's coming off of the runner. Every single time. He's hitting the ball at pace.
And you'd think that'd just be tiring. He's going to need someone else to go with
a
him
free
because he's
kick
been
going
really
the way
good.
of
But
Willaston.
whether he can sustain that for full quarters will be the next.
Willaston now move the ball to
Shock
the
and
forward
bounce.
line. Bounce. Good pick up from the Willaston
Lehman's
boys.
having a long
Lehman goes long and hits the post. That's hard. Really good shot on goal, but the oval ball we play with is ridiculous sometimes.
The Birds Barossa scoreboard, it's Tanunda 8-2-50 to Willaston 5-6-36.
And really accurate kicking from the Pies.
After pumping up Mackenzie for so long, he's just given away a really weak 50 metres. It was quite unnecessary.
It's a good handball off the deck. He ducked into that, but the
And
umpires
he's thrown the ball.
now penalise him for a throw.
Incorrect disposal there. The
As
the
Hahn
struggle-
now gets to pump the ball into the forward line. Big fly. No one able to
Linky
take
over
it.
the back.
Willaston there. That's come off, but the don't argue was beautiful.
One thing that was really evident as Wilson came out at defensive 50 then was their lack of runners. They were quite stagnant around the footy, and I think that's a difference. Tanunda looked like they're on the move a bit more.
Drifting across the front, he was the only player who looked like he wanted that bowl.
And on a day like this where there's no rain and it's pretty good.
Given every opportunity.
And was coming
Play
back,
on.
but didn't quite
Gers
make the
spotted
line.
up. Somebody in the forward 50. Earlham with a handy handball.
Hoskin now gets that high ball out.
Doherty at the ball, play on.
Willaston forwards just looked a bit stagnant there. I'd like to see Evans lead up at the footy there. He wanted it on his head, but Tanunda had players behind the footy. If you run at it, there's more of a chance.
Run to space.
Yeah.
Run to space. Footy 101. That's where we see Cowan running to space, forcing the ball a bit wider and using that speed that Tanunda's got at the ball.
We see a little bit hesitant now. Tanunda not playing with the confidence they had in the first quarter because they're under pressure.
There we go. Linky just leading up, deep down the ground. It provides that option. And to Wildman, just again, good build-up, nice and considered. Good use of the ball. Wonder if they'll break here. Gers
Another
has
short
moved forward
pass
a bit
to
too.
Gers. He plays on, goes by hand, and receives the ball back. He shrugs off a tackle, has to evade, kicks the ball high into the forward line, and Willaston able to just mop that up.
It's not what we've come used to seeing Tanunda do. That if you're going to break, they were going to break harder. That was quite stagnant, and the experienced Willaston defence really showed that they can stop that sort of play. High ball going back. Wildman
Siren goes
takes a
to
great
signal
mark just before.
half-time. The Birds were off the scoreboard at half-time. Tanunda 8-3-51, leading Willaston 5-7-37. A much better quarter from the Donnybrooks.
Yeah, 11 inside 50s to 7 that quarter from Willaston. And I think that says it all, really. They had most of the play. Tanunda had their moments, but I think Willaston looked the better side that quarter, which was a total contrast to the first.
Absolutely, and you take it that Willaston have kicked 5-3 to 1-1 in that quarter in a benign weather day. It sort of shows that there was a bit of a spray, a bit of a change in mentality at quarter time, and it's pulled this game really quite tight. It's where we thought we were going to be at the start of the game, and let's hope that we can see them continue to strive and give us a great contest.
It really has turned into a good game of footy. Quarter time we were worried about it being a blowout, completely one-sided. You were starting to count your chickens, Dan, but
I did ask the question, but I know the game.
I saw chickens being counted. But yes, we are right back to being almost a level contest here in the way the game's being played. And Tanunda have to find a way to respond now at half-time. The pressure's all gone back onto them.
I think there was just opportunities that were probably missed to Tanunda's point of view in terms of a bit of composure going forward when they were doing that. Willaston come out and dominated the first half of that quarter. Then it was very much an arm wrestle for the rest of the second quarter. It will be interesting to see how they come out after half-time.
Yes, they've got to find a way to stop Isaiah McKenzie breaking from the centre clearances. Evans is dominating the ruck. He has all game. Tanunda have got 2 ruckmen to go against him. They've got to find a way to nullify his influence, and also their midfield have to get on the defensive side to stop McKenzie running through.
Who are the main players you think in that first half that really stood out to you, Dan?
Wildman and Linky have been fantastic.
Yeah, have to agree.
Yeah, I think if we're talking in and close, Callum's done some really classy work there for Tanunda. Doherty off half back has been really, really serviceable, and Matt Westhoff, the class of Matt Westhoff's been fantastic. He's probably stopped at least 3 goals, I think.
And for Willaston, you've got to look at Grouden really stepping up that quarter. Hoskins started to get a bit of the ball. Tyson Earlham's working hard. Josh Waldherd is finally giving them something, presenting up forward. That's what they sorely missed in the first half. Lehman is starting to have an impact, but it all revolves around Waldherd up there.
After a really quiet first quarter, Waldherd really showed his class, I think. He had a couple moments there where he just looked a cut above.
Yeah, totally agree. And Henschke's 2 goals were critical. One absolute freak goal from the pocket, and another one that looked like it come off of his shin, but it managed to get it through. But at the same time, both sides are oozing of class. So we look forward to what's going to happen in the second half, and hopefully we see something really nice and close and a good arm wrestle, and the right team wins.
Fitness may be an issue, and which team can run this game out better is really going to have a bearing on the result.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who had a big last week after a bye last week? Who's going to run it out?
I think I'd suggest Tanunda.
Tanunda probably had the harder game, losing by 4 points at Anguston. They were in the game and they would have had to work hard all game. Willaston, a 6-goal win at home, probably a little easier. Never looked threatened.
I think I'm still confident Tanunda by 3 goals, run it out for younger bodies. Your point earlier, Wilson, they just look like they run above the ground, and I think there's something about that'll be shown.
I'm not changing my tip from earlier. Tanunda for me.
I've got Tanunda as well. After watching the first half, I mean, it's easy to say when they're 14 points up at half time, but I think they look a fitter side, and I think that's going to be the difference.
Indeed.
I just think there's more goal kicking options in Tanunda's side with Linky, Cowham as their 2 main weapons.
We haven't seen Trainer really get any space yet either.
And he's not likely to figure a lot. He's a low possession forward, but if he gets 4 touches, he'll kick you 3 goals.
Absolutely.
Now, Mike, I was speaking to my coach this morning, and he said he kept referring to you as Tess. I just wanted to ask you about the origin of...
That's not going over the air. But I will not cop sledging from a man who played a grand final and laid an egg. Not a single touch.
You are cute. Just while we go for there might be some interest in other games at the MCG. Those following the Battle of the Black and the Whites. Collingwood currently 2 minutes into the last quarter, 99 to Port Adelaide 64.
Okay, well, we'll let that go. And around the grounds in the BLG, quarter time at Kapunda. Kapunda 4-goal fort 28, trailing South Gawler 7 straight goals 42.
Any other results there?
That's all so far.
Teeks.
That's all I've got at this stage.
Who's your premiership prediction?
South Gawler are still the favourites, and after watching them last week against Newry, who they beat in the grand final last year, it's very hard to see anyone pushing those two sides.
That's it. And, if we have a look at the SANFL, we've got in the fourth quarter Central Districts 12-8-80 lead the Panthers 10-5-65. We're at half time at Prospect Oval with North Adelaide at 5-2-32 over Sturt 4-3-27. At half time down at, I think that is the Bay, it'll be Glenelg 9-6-60 to Adelaide 3-3-21, and at just lost it at West Adelaide. Keeps disappearing. At West Adelaide we have half time. Redlegs 4-6-30 over the Bloods 3-3-21.
Thanks for that, Dan. And beautiful day here at Tanunda. The crowd has built up nicely. Really seeing a lot of faces here in the crowd. Tanunda locals getting out for the first home game. They're all excited by the new facility. Everyone's walking past and having a really good look. It's just a great day to be here at Tanunda.
Good atmosphere.
And if you're at home watching, still plenty of room here at Tanunda. Get off the couch, get down here to watch your local footy. This is what it's about. The AFL will take care of itself on your TV. You can check the scores on your phone. Local footy is what you need to be a part of. Without local footy, the game dies. So come down here, spend a couple of dollars at the canteen, buy a raffle ticket from Mr. Peck, and perhaps even have a quiet beer. It's perfect weather for it if you're going to be responsible. Don't have too many before you drive, but pop on down here to Tanunda Oval. You're going to see some great footy in the second half.
It's my first time in Tanunda. Beautiful oval, beautiful town. You can understand why people pump it up so much.
It is a destination. It really is, isn't it, Dan?
Absolutely. It's a good spot to be, some great eateries, and when you look at community facilities like this, it's well worth it. So,
and the investment here at Tanunda Oval has been, in my eyes, nothing short of magnificent.
I think for the whole region, it's been pretty good. There's been some $50 million been spent on sport and recreation facilities across the whole region to date. Prior to any other announcements being made, that was a distinct focus of the region to uplift all towns, all communities off the back of community facilities essentially being neglected for 20 or 30 years, and the value of sports tourism. So it predates events put on by AFL and what have you. It was always recognised that why weren't we having high-level national carnival football, cricket, we've got amazing rugby, we've got amazing hockey and soccer fields and facilities. We've got everything from equestrian to basketball and everything. So it's good to see, and we welcome growth and investment in all sorts, but the long-term generational stuff is really important.
Yes, we have a lot of state-level cricket carnivals held in the Barossa, and the next step is getting those national carnivals to be here and recognise that this is an area that can host that.
Yeah, I think recently we had the national over 60s cricket tournaments here. We've had last year we had.
And how did you go in that?
Wow, That is a low blow. That is a massive
I'm
drive
saying
by.
that you're good enough to make the team.
No, I'm saying that I've got 10 years to go before I qualify, mate. But beyond that, I think we had the national all abilities football carnival
that
here
was
last year, which was fantastic.
late last year, and I was doing some commentary for the AFL on that.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful, and those sorts of things, and very strong focus on inclusiveness. And I think tomorrow we've got the BL&G Pride round in the BL&GW competition.
Yes, and that's a great competition. And Willaston are a huge driver of that round, and they've been trendsetters in women's football and are a powerhouse.
They are indeed. So, but no, I'm going to take a break. We'll see everybody after the halftime break, and look forward to an exciting second half of football.
We will all take a break, and we will be back with the third quarter soon.
Cool, mate. Well done.
Yep, Luke's on a message saying it sounds and looks really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
You do 3 glasses. Do you like wine? Do you like one?
No, I'm alright. I do like wine.
I'll
But
have extra then.
no, I'm on a detox.
Comienzas como los huevos cartoon. Como los huevos. ¿Nunca miraste los huevos cartoon? Un gol. ¡Salud!
I need to let it stay away from the competition. I could get Brando handles off half back. Smart.
siren goes to start the third term.
Evans to Earlham. Earlham to Hoskin. Hoskin with a raking ball out. Westhoff with a sharp turn for a very big man. Outstanding. Then Wildman, great hands for Tanunda. Collins just takes off. Number 50.
That's a direct shot into the forward line. Voigt couldn't control it.
Linky's attack on the ball.
We'll have a ball up just inside the boundary, probably 35 metres around from Tanunda's goal.
It was a pacey, decisive forward entry there from Tanunda. With purpose. It's good to see.
And really promising after the second quarter. And another score update from Kapunda. Kapunda 5 goal 6-36, trailing South Gall at 10 goal 1-61 at halftime on the Birdsboro scoreboard.
Some heavy work going on there in the forward pocket. Linky's had a couple of swipes at the ball. Kid's capable of doing anything.
And Voigt with that ruck tap brings it right back into a dangerous spot.
That looked like a very high hit on young Hahn, and his feet went underneath him.
He's up, he's going.
He's a harm.
Cat's head, as he called him. He's one of my favourite young players in the competition.
Hurried kick out from defence for Willaston.
It's going to come up here.
As I'm looking forward to watching Hahn for the next decade.
I look forward to it. Absolutely. I think his father and his uncle were very handy footballers in their day. Goes to bring it in.
Great pressure from Tanunda early, just forced kick-outs.
Long ball from Gers, deep into forward 50.
Big fly, no one could take it cleanly. Watson rode that off the side of the pack, puts it into space.
Jack May got
couldn't control it.
manhandled.
That ball, that's a good sweeping mark taken there.
Hugh Smart
A smart play.
to
Finds
Cahoon, is it?
Cahoon, who's within range. And you'd almost write this one down already.
Something said earlier about chickens and hatching and eggs. I'm not planning on doing that. I'd hate to be that guy.
Don't tell me you've learned your lesson.
Plenty of lessons in my time.
Great start from Tanunda. Just lost the centre clearance, but then since then, it's all been all them. Great pressure, and they've had repeat inside 50s.
See,
And now we're
Colin
having
starts his
goals.
run up now. Very deliberate. And again, that beautiful connection on the footy. Just drifts across for a minor score. Sorry, Sam.
Wilson, I reckon your point's absolutely right. It does look like that pressure's returned from the high moving defence that goes to half field, and that rebound football using the pace on the ball has been really important.
And looking at the matchup, currently at fullback, Ben Schiller standing Josh Waldhooter, an absolute mismatch there, but I think they're trying to expose Waldhooter's lack of run and run off it.
It's an amazing mark there by Linky. Linky has spotted up young Waldman 40 metres out directly in front. Oh no, it's that Cahoon. That'll be Cahoon with the ball
Cahoon will be
now.
taking his second shot on goal in 30 seconds. And similar distance, which is not an issue for him.
And that's the thing about really good players like Linky. Like, he had a quiet second quarter, but just constantly stands up during the game in big moments. Things have got close, and he's the guy that's standing up now.
Absolutely. Shot on goal. Straight through the middle. Umpire's hat.
So we're under 4 minutes into the third quarter, and Calhoun's already kicked Tanunda's goal, first goal of the term. Really starting to bring the pressure.
On the Grant Burridge Barossa scoreboard, it's under 9-4-58 to Willaston's 5-8-38.
As Ben Murray joins the party.
Oh, Ben. It's getting cool up here.
It is starting to turn a little bit cooler, but we are in the shade here. If you're out in the sun, I think you'd be loving the day. As you see the ball back in the middle. Umpire coming in now. Balls it up. And Evans controlled that again. It wasn't as clean as normal, but he lays a follow-up tackle.
Again, I'm looking at that tackle, I'm looking at the double movement. Callum is a hard player, but that double movement's got to be policed out of the game, I thought. Doherty intercepts Callum again with the ball.
Yeah, that was more of a textbook tackle then from Wills rolling onto his back.
And a clearance from Willaston. And a mark to Sam Walton. He handballs immediately. That's a terrible little chip kick, really a nothing kick. But Walton knew immediately he was outside his range, so gave that quick handball, which gave Willaston a chance, which was then mid-frittered away.
Falkenberg wins out to Jackson to Wildman, Collins, and
that's Crowden, who's brought the ball back in.
Henschke
around the corner.
And again, Westhoff just cuts it off the magic man.
Tanunda getting numbers behind the footy.
Beautiful movement there. Colquhoun keeps running, and Hahn hits him up again, rewards the run. And there's another beautiful kick. Cut off though.
Callum gets one high from Evans, and a mismatch that's worked in his favour.
Evans got in a really good spot there, just spilled him up that he shouldn't have.
But Colquhoun just the hard running from the back pocket to the wing. That's leading from the front.
Todd Falkenberg goes long into forward 50 to a contest.
And Hoskin was there to punch it away. Probably could have marked that instead of going with the one fizz.
Watson with hands to Wildman with a rank shot. Collins wasn't able to keep it in.
Although he gave away a free kick there, Evans, at least he didn't lose the contest, and it allowed his players, his teammates to get behind the footy.
Absolutely. It just slowed it down. Forward defensive pressure there by Tanunda's kept the ball from moving out fast. Groudon goes backwards to the pocket. Clinch takes the mark, moves it quickly. There's three Willaston players, three in the forward 50.
This is quick movement from Willaston. There's something we need to see more of. Look at that handball. Puts it into space. Under pressure now.
The overlap we haven't seen really.
That kick under pressure and spilt over the boundary line by Guilfoyle. He'll be happy with that because he was under a bit of pressure there. He had no one else behind him.
Has to be said, great pick up from Henschke there. Just hit the ball on the run, on the half volley. Made that look a lot easier than what it was.
Big boys go at it.
Henschke again.
Big kick. Guilfoyle at the back made sure no one was going to mark it.
Smith picks up and is tackled immediately.
This game's gone up a notch already in the third quarter. This is what we were hoping to see.
An injury to Mackenzie? No. Cleared the space. Hobbling a bit.
Falkenberg gets that tap down. Guilfoyle was the one at
Doherty
the bottom of the
hard
pack.
to Gers to Cahoon. Cahoon back to Gers with that constant run over the lines.
Spearing beautiful kick.
And a trainer.
He moves
Trainer
the ball
is
quickly.
spotted up. Gers running down again from the
It's
halfback.
the overlap run, and that's good, a trademark of what we've seen today, and that's Tanunda at their absolute finest.
He goes back to Cahoon, who's going to take a shot.
He'll have his
from
third shot of the
42
quarter
metres.
from that range.
And that all started down there from Willaston's stagnancy in their forward line. There was no one hitting the ball on the run. I think Mackenzie was hobbling, but no one else stood up. No one took the onus on themselves.
This
to go,
is the
"All right."
second time in the third quarter that Colquhoun has started a play in the back pocket, followed it up with possessions, and then received it 40 metres from goal.
Absolutely, and it takes a couple of those things, those elements. You know, Doherty hitting the contest hard, ruck moving forward, continue overflow, and running across the lines.
And it's a player like Gers who was willing to run as well in support of Colquhoun.
Push it across.
That's a little unusual. We're not used to seeing that from Colquhoun, who's normally a magnificent kick of the footy.
A little bit of breeze coming from the east, a predominant easterly this year, and normally by this time of the day it's swung around to be ripping up Maria
That's a
Street.
big clearing kick and massive punch.
Guilfoyle pushed across the line.
It's fascinating though. If you weren't here today, you'd think there's a big 10-goal breeze to one end. There's been barely a goal to the scoreboard end.
And the goals that have been scored have been perfectly straight kicks. it's hard to fathom.
And a good kick there from Willaston. They've
Hoskin,
found someone in the
right.
middle. Hoskin with a finger tipper. He's now looking for an option. Goes short. He's found someone in the middle of the ground. But again, there's no real demands from Willaston.
Again.
Walton now goes on a searching lead. He takes the ball. Handball's off to Fry.
Right.
The kick's long on his left. Walthuda got one hand to it at the back. Butters up.
Well, the Tanunda player went with one
shovels
hand
that
there.
ball out to Earlham. Who handballed off.
That's got to be holding the ball umpire.
Very big tackle there.
Wow, that was lucky from Willaston in their forward 50.
So a ball up there.
Trying to break 2 tackles.
I think it was borderline high though.
Do we call it even then, do we?
I think so. So another big tackle. 2-on-1. We'll have a ball up again, that 30 metres out directly in front. Dangerous territory here for Tanunda.
Uncontested ruck. Walton in there fighting for the ball. It's a rugby scrum.
And Walton just gaining 1-2 metres at a time. He's had okay with that.
You notice Evans' dominance this game because when he's not in the ruck, Foyt is just smashing their second ruckman.
Absolutely.
But Willaston don't have a genuine second ruckman, and they're using guys for 6'2", with no real leap.
Hoskin rucking there. It's knocked it close to goal.
And that kick off the ground goes through for another minor score. Willaston have had a lot of minor scores.
He's so dangerous up there, Walthuda.
Just pace on the ball, isn't he? He's really explosive.
He's scary, and not just his looks. That's all right. I'm happy to front up to him after the game. We get on okay.
So we've got Wildman there waiting, taking his time to move the ball out from full-back. Goes to the skipper there in Smith. Smith's going to have to run onto the ball.
Beautiful take.
Being pursued.
Well weighted kick, and that's a lovely mark from the young man. Good left
delivered
kick.
the ball straight to Trainer. That is
Beautiful football from the young man.
Trainer's confident here. This is his bread and butter.
This is what the big man does. And he's had a couple of touches this quarter. We mentioned him not being prominent in the first half. This is what he does. A couple of touches, but they're key telling touches.
Absolutely.
It's going to take a mammoth kick though to kick this. He'll be kicking it from 55.
No, that's not a true 50-metre arc. It's more of a 40.
Yeah, it's true 50.
It's true 50 now.
50, and this guy can kick it from a long way.
He has absolutely nailed that.
Oh.
Just offline.
No worries about the distance.
But the distance was not a problem.
No. Jared Trainer can kick a heavy ball.
There's Fry to bring the ball back in. And yes, if you're looking now, he's not bold, he's just ginger.
Glad you said that.
I'm not allowed to criticise him for looking bold because his mother will get upset again.
Gilfoy up high.
Good clearing kick there.
2-on-1 out the back for Willaston.
There we go, Wild Hooters.
Plenty of support here.
Got beaten in the foot race by the younger player.
Off to Westhoff. Westhoff, we get a Shepherd.
And Wild Hooter just knocks Fraser over for a bit of extra. That's a really good mark taken there.
Doherty Fraser action.
No.
They've managed to keep themselves away from each other, which is good. Doherty across to Wildman. Wildman now getting Sam Cahoon out on the half-forward flank. Cahoon to Porter. Porter dropped the mark.
Good mark.
Recovered beautifully, but gave off a really silly handball. Can't see that's young Tom Hahn having a kick for goal. And it's behind the stick again.
Minor score, but Colquhoun getting off the chain this quarter. If Willaston can't put a clamp on him, they're in big, big trouble.
It seems to be just a couple of key Tanunda players have actually got freedom around the ball. It's surprising though that there hasn't been more made of all the entries. I believe we're 6-3.
Yeah, 6 to 4.
Six to
Maybe even
4.
7 to 4.
That's a good mark by the big ruckman there, Falkenberg, going back.
Big Falky sends it towards the goal square. Big fly, no one can take it. A hack out of the air, that's dangerous.
Mark grabbing the ball. Trainer's free.
Real dangerous kick out of defence there.
Really, that's a coach killer, those sorts of kicks. Number one defensive measure, don't.
Smart goes short. That's a really well-weighted kick.
Again to Cahoon, who is just bringing his own ball to the game at the moment.
That's a great kick when you've got just about every player in that back 50 to find a target.
As a coach, Colhoun would not only be happy to receive that ball, but he'd be really proud of a young player to have the brains to just calm down and lower the eyes and drop that short kick right on his coach's chest.
Absolutely. I think he wants to make up for the last couple of missed shots, and he's just...
He goes short.
Found Jack May, is that, in the forward 50 there, deep in the pocket.
And there's about 3 Willaston players, just hands on the head. No one defending that space, and not enough talk from Willaston there.
Exactly, Lewis Cowan.
You should
Louis
not be able
Cowan
to
going for another shot
find
on
a
goal.
dinky target there.
This should be his bread and butter.
You shouldn't be able to find 25 metres free inside of 50 when there's 30 players
One of
in
the
there.
most dangerous forwards on the ground.
Oh, and he's pulled it.
He'll be really filthy with himself on that one.
That's not good. He just jabbed at the ball instead of kicking through it. That thing should have been into the pine tree.
Not many pine trees left there now.
No, thank goodness. Yeah, they used to just fall over and crush cars.
That's only at Anguston.
and here. Let's go. Ashley Fryer's going to bring it back in for Willaston. He's looking for some leads. Just stagnant. This is painful to watch. Trainer nearly cut it off. Cowan does the right thing.
Yeah, you just mentioned it there, Dan, and I was going to say something before, but it really looks, you can notice Willaston, all their runs gone from the second quarter, and if that's a fitness thing or just a will thing, I'm not sure, but...
Jack May dancing. We don't know. And look at that ball. There's young Wildman directly out in front. Is that it? There's no dynamic. There's really no dynamic happening.
Can Wildman do what his teammates have failed to do in the last 5 minutes?
Just peppered the goals Tanunda, and to be honest, they should be 6-7 goals up.
For a team that was 8-goal-2, they're now 9-goal-7. He goes back, hit the ball beautifully, and the umpire's happy with his work.
That's young Campbell Wildman's second goal today, and
he's been so impressive.
Couldn't come soon enough, to be honest. Something had to give. They've just been peppering the goals. So
we're 18 minutes into the third quarter here on the Barossa time clock.
9 inside 50s to 4, boys, early on in this third.
And we've got to say that the 4 inside 50s for Willaston didn't really give any confidence.
They were shallow, hesitant,
mismatched. Yeah.
Ball's back in the middle. Willaston need to find a way to turn the tide.
Using Zach East in the ruck.
It's a huge mismatch. Falkenberg just has his way with that tap.
And Wildman wraps up East, and East has just pulled it under an arm and rolled over.
East is going to compete hard when the ball comes down onto the deck.
Westhoff just doing what he did in that first, sitting behind the play, letting his player go up to the contest.
That ball goes deep, looking for a target.
Earlham
gets
wrapped up
good
by
wrap up there. Players tackle each other. Gers versus Earlham, that's a great matchup. Tyson Earlham, really great role model and leader at Willaston, and is now running a great business of his own. Tyson Earlham Plumbing.
That's it.
TI Plumbing. He's been out doing a bit of work for you lately, Dan.
He has.
And you've been very impressed with the delivery.
Yeah, no, he's a good young fella, and he still bites his fingernails. I don't know how a plumber does that, but anyway.
But yeah, it's a real professional. If you are looking for a plumber, look him up. He's the man.
So Zach East is coming. Shot for goal. He's
going to have to kick this into a slight breeze.
You're kicking from outside 50. Got real close to the man on the mark.
Got nowhere near the ball. Went through hands.
Ball still alive. And Walter tried to barge his way through with the ball under his arm.
The ball actually
Umpire's
hit
gone, no.
Voigt in the thigh. It went through everybody's hands. It shocked him.
Yeah, lucky it didn't hit him a little higher in centre.
Schiller clearing
Backing
kick out.
kick. That's gone.
Jack May has
Jack
worked
May
hard.
sliding mark. Did well there.
2019 Premiership player was a young bloke. Really, really classy operator.
He comes down the line.
Collins up with Crowden. And, little toe over the line, but they'll ball this in.
So throw in almost in front of the Tanunda box. In front of the new deck here, the raised area platform for viewing here at Tanunda. And that's going to be a really uncomfortable area for opposition teams as the season wears on.
Maybe a bit of commentary happening. That's a really clever kick into forward 50. Smith just attacks the ball. The skipper leading by
That's
example
courage.
there.
He puts the ball out in the space.
great clean
Calhoun
kick up.
wheels around, heads to centre half forward. He's got players there.
Oh, it's a big
Ball
contest.
spills, and Watson with what he does best. That's a tackle.
Fantastic.
Brings down a bigger player. Like a Chihuahua bringing down a bull.
Okay, thanks, Teeks. Clear as mud. Let's roll with that. Big
Evans with
ruckman
another
going at it.
tap.
Wildman just again gives the ball off. Linky, Hahn steps, sells some candy.
Hahn goes
Has a
on the
shot.
right and fades away to the left. And Tanunda have done a lot of that this quarter.
Interesting looking at centre clearances, not centre clearances, just clearances around the ground. Wildman, no one's gone to him. He's got him by himself just about in every clearance.
He's an unregistered dog at the moment. They're just like letting him go.
And it's a great falcon there from Gers.
Contest at Voigt.
Guilfoy at the back.
There's Guilfoy, yep.
He
Oh,
goes to
great
the
kick.
outside. And
Smart. Spilled what he
the
should have
mark.
eaten.
But he did recover and lay the tackle.
You mentioned the new viewing deck out the front of the new club rooms there. There's also some further additions to come in. During my time as president, managed to secure the old interchange benches out of Footy Park.
Oh, yes.
So there's just been some grant funding to be able to install those. So they're at engineering at the moment, which will make a huge difference. As Lewis Cowan takes the ball, delivers long, Todd Falkenberg's got to beat two, and that was never going to happen.
Willaston player able to mop up there. Looks to the middle of the ground.
Smith with the spoil on two.
Watson got
Linky.
that ball out.
And there's two Tanunda players down there.
Player going back with the flight. That was courageous. He got cleaned up.
Cahoon
Rewarded with the free
quickly
kick.
to Linky, who's standing.
That's
in
smart
goal.
footy.
Really dangerous kick into the middle of the ground there. If you're going to go into the middle, you got to be precise, and that just it was an okay kick. And when you're probably 20 points down in the third, it's probably more understandable, but still you got to hit it, and that was the reason that Linky was able to get by himself.
And Dan, you mentioned those additions yet to come as part of funding that you secured when you were president. I want to give you your flowers. You had this vision many years ago, and a lot of people have done work since to help bring it to fruition, but you were a driving force. I want to acknowledge you as how important you've been to not just the Tanunda Footy Club, but the region in the funding that you've helped attract.
It's high praise, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But there's a huge amount of people involved. The Tanunda Rec Park Committee were huge in that whole process. There's 11 user groups inside this precinct, and to get total support from all of those individual groups has been massive, and that's played a huge amount in where we are today.
And from here we can see the second oval, which is used for junior football and junior cricket, over the back. That's a great addition as well.
It's a beautiful public space. So,
that's
Mackenzie
that nearly snapped a goal from nothing.
Getting back to the game, that's probably the best entry we've seen this quarter from Willaston. It actually had a bit of fluency to it. Tanunda struggled to, Shea Linky missed what he should have.
Calhoun just goes short.
God, that was a bad miss, but that forward entry was actually quite smart.
It's just about
Yeah,
the first
away.
time in the whole game I think we've seen kick, mark all the way forward.
There
And
we go.
that's, I
Willaston
think
have
that's
got
just
some
a credit
movement
to the
now,
pressure.
but cut off. That was Westhoff again that they went to.
Collins with a spearing ball that didn't work.
You'd think they would have
Hoskins.
realised by now if they look up and see Westhoff, they either kick around or over him.
And a great spoil again by Westhoff. He's just
been
dominating
terrific
off
today.
hard. He's been huge in that line of defence back there.
He and Guilfoyle combined are two tall defenders that are as good as anything in country football right now.
Oh, without a doubt. A lot of experience there, isn't there? So, good ruck work there. Linky laying a tackle on Wills. Wasn't getting away.
I'd love to see Connolly as the wingman just get really dangerous. They haven't switched the ball enough, I don't think, Willaston, and that's why it allows Westhoff to set up behind the footy. And they keep being able to repel all inside 50s.
But Connolly's made it really easy for Porter because he hangs halfway. Here we go.
Flying shot on goal, and that's
Waldhurter's
through
made
the middle.
something out of nothing there.
Big
Absolutely.
Josh Waldhurter, he's done that. And did have Joel Holloway was drifting towards the top of the goal square on his own, but Waldhurter was able to kick the goal. That's someone we haven't called hardly at all today, Joel Holloway. He was really important for Willaston last year. Today, unsighted.
Yeah, basically missing. I've seen him a couple of times, done nothing really outrageous. And I think that's just it shows a little bit of the experience and the athleticism of Waldhurter over Guilfoyle back there. So.
Just on your point, yeah, Holloway 11 out of 15 times was in the best players last year.
Yes.
The next best being Tyson Earlham and Sackton Evans.
He was their best on fairest last year.
Earlham?
No, Holloway.
Holloway, yeah.
They go Porter up. Porter to Wildman. Wildman got three. Willaston chasing. And he's getting the ball back.
Handballed to a ruckman.
Yeah, never do that. Watson in and under.
Great pick up from
Hahn, how did he do that?
As I said, he is so good for a young player.
That was an incredible pickup, that was. So, as we hoped for, it was a tightening of the game, but Tanunda really could have put him away. You know, you go, really, they 2 goals 6 for the quarter, and they missed a lot of gettable shots.
Yeah, smash Willaston with the inside 50s that quarter. Doubled their inside 50s.
And unfortunately, didn't make the most of it at all, and they'll rue that. I think. We hope it doesn't come back and bite them in the backside, but they've given themselves every shot to come away with the win on their home deck, and but to Willaston's credit, they stuck with it. They kept going.
For sure, and now in this last quarter, as you say, it's dangerous times for Tanunda because they will be kicking to the scoring end. But what I didn't like that quarter was just the stagnancy and the complacency of some of the Willaston players. Looked like Tanunda looked the fitter side again. And I think that will seriously play a part in the last quarter.
Indeed. Well, I think in the clinches, the heavier bodies of Willaston have stood up, but you're right. I think the athleticism of the younger Tanunda brigade will show out, and the amount of inside 50 sort of indicates that it's just finishing. It's just finishing and having a bit of poise. Too many shots within 35 or 40 missed, and it's a tale of one end of the oval, unfortunately, and I don't know whether it's significantly downhill these days, whether there's been a gale out in the middle that we can
There
not
is
see.
a definite crown on the oval now. I've had players and even some umpires telling me that when you're running back to the middle from the northern end, which is to the left of screen, it is uphill.
Mate, I used to bowl from that end. It's always been uphill.
But more so now than ever.
Yeah, no, it's magnificent surface, very fast. This will be national quality football field, and it takes the region now to 7 or 8 fields that will be of that standard as a minimum, which is really fantastic. And I think that the fitter, healthier looking younger side, a bit exciting. certainly a drop in the average age at Tanunda is
And Tanunda
looking pretty
hosting the
keen.
grand final this year. That's exciting for them as well. That's going to be a good chance to capitalise on these new facilities and get some funds back into the club.
Absolutely.
But also it's going to be great for we as the football public to come here grand final day and be a part of the spectacle.
I think it'll be a magnificent day, and let's hope the home side gets a chance to have a roll on it, which would be nice. But I think your point at three-quarter time, at half-time, South
play this quarter. I'll give you the
South will be picking whoever else they're going to be playing against, unless something else happens. They're head and shoulders. But as we look at the huddles coming together, Tanunda really tight. Coach Coon's really imploring his boys to get moving and really push
Willaston
on.
back to a more traditional spot for the huddle at three-quarter time. That Damien Hertz may have calmed down a bit.
I think so, yeah. Hertz is a good bloke, and he's coached a lot of football, widely experienced. And yeah, I'm sure that the game's not over yet. It'll be exciting to see what happens.
As we see siren goes and supporters are now heading off the ground, ready for what should be a fantastic last quarter coming to you from Tanunda. And if you tuned into what's today, thank you for joining us, and I hope you're enjoying the coverage so far.
Absolutely. The upside for a Tanunda side today is that there's still 2 or 3 players that are warming up in the twos that haven't had much of a pre-season.
Also, their leading goal kicker from last week, Jake Sutcliffe, who kicked 6, not playing today because of work reasons. That's another big in to come into that forward line, boasting Cowan and Linky.
Is he in the mines?
Yeah,
correct.
he's a flying flyer. Yeah. And
So he's going to be a big addition. You throw him up there as well. You've got Trainer, you've got Cowan, you've got Linky. Throw Sutcliffe in as well. Other teams are going to be shaking.
There's a midfield halfback too in Sam Brooks.
Yes.
Another hard nut, big body, midfielder.
Reliable. Never gets
Super
beaten
reliable.
one-on-one.
And really good use of the ball. And he's not out there at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of upside for Tanunda. I don't know where Bevan Cross is at for Willaston, but this looks like a pretty full side.
All up. And Falkenberg wins the clearance. And Clinch really well read there. He just a little shove of his opponent under the ball. He clears, goes down the line. No one able to take that, but kick forward. Growden is there. Good tackle.
Henschke just ran straight into Smith.
Wills couldn't quite control that, but he lays a hard tackle. The crowd get involved.
Bit of feedback from either side of the crowd, which is good to see. That's Mackenzie out of the middle, getting an inside 50, looking for Waldherter, which he's done some special things today. They're going to have a throw in 30 metres out from Wilson's goal.
Traditionally been the dead pocket. This one takes a special kick from there.
Again, the scoring end though, it appears like. Ball just locked down there all day. Evans comes down, the ball's wrapped up. We'll have another ball up.
I am wondering if that might change a little now that all the pockets are deeper.
Could do. We'll wait and see. There's a definite attack on the ball there.
Can't seem to get the footy out, just locked in there. It's 3 consecutive ball ups in a row. Ruckman battle at it. Wildman looks for a kick out, spills to Mackenzie. Cormac gets the kick. Only as far as Tanunda though. And we could be set for another ball up. No, ball spells out Mackenzie again.
Takes it
Ned Kelly, yes. Campbell's.
Hoskin with a quick shot into an unmanned Tyson Earlham. 35 metres out.
He plumbed that mark from the depths.
I think he was at legal depth for the old drain, waste and vent there, and he still grabbed it up. So
Earlham's a quality player as well. I'll be backing him from here. 40 out.
He's a renowned goal kicker as a midfielder. It's not unusual to see him pop up with a bag of 5 on a regular basis.
Well, he kicked 21 goals last year from 15 games,
Yes.
which is just to your point.
Goes back. And
Slots it as well. Umpires did not
absolutely.
move.
Skipper.
That's a captain's goal if I've ever seen one, boys.
Absolutely, it was needed. He leaned her in. I did speak to him yesterday and said I wanted to repeat from last year's game where he kicked the ball into the post twice from the goal square.
2.5 minutes into the final quarter, and it's a 3-goal margin on the Bergsbrosser scoreboard. Tanunda 7-10. 10-10-70, leading Willaston 7-10-52.
For all the Tanunda's dominance during this game, Willaston now have a
That
sniff.
third quarter where they kicked 2 goals 6 really has come back to haunt the Magpies.
I'm looking for Mackenzie on the move here. The battle of the number 16s.
Big punch there from Evans.
Finds Mackenzie.
Cowan just lays a beautiful tackle and it ends up being a quasi-ruck contest.
Watson
Ryan
in there.
Watson in there.
He is a mongrel dog.
We love him.
He is my kind of footballer. When it's wet in the middle of the year, he's going to love it. He's a mud pig.
Yeah,
And accountable as well.
totally.
Ball at the back
out
of
the back.
Hoskin.
Touched.
Oh,
Wills
what a take
hit
from
the
Wills.
ball.
Wow.
Great
That kick around the corner.
That
Wills, that was superb.
And Lehman's going to line up.
As we said, Wills doesn't need to be a high possession player, but damn, that's electric.
It's good to watch. He's just one of those players that you can just watch all day. Every time he gets it, anything could happen.
This goal, critical.
He's pulled it. It's out of bounds on the full.
Well, it's a wasted opportunity for Willaston, but what excitement for that. It's got to get the team up and about.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like the skipper's come off for a breather, well earned.
Evans.
Erlen, and yeah. Again, Willaston just punching this ball straight back into forward 50.
And Watson
There's a dog again.
There he goes.
handball gets it to Hahn, who's cleaned up after he kicked it.
Linky holds the ball.
I'd like to see Michael Clinch take that mark. He's a senior player in the team, but there's a little bit of Josh Rochelli about that last night.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, we got that.
I wouldn't insult him like that.
There's a couple of missed opportunities just there. A really clear ruck tap, and Tanunda dropped the ball, and then a couple of Willaston players fighting over the same possession. Great roving, great ruck work.
Watson now with the kick forward. Everyone goes up, no one can take it.
Called play on. Linky looks like he's struggling down there.
Sean Childs hangs onto the ball. He's happy to wrap it up, give it back to the umpire.
Childs is fair in his assumption that he was the only one touching the ball.
Yes. He's been known to advise the umpires occasionally. He should get a job as a consultant.
Is he a non-mouthguard wearer as well?
He is, I think he might be, but he is a great role model.
Very good.
He is one of the leading role models in the Indigenous program at Willaston, and he's a great leader at that footy club.
Fantastic. We've seen a bit of a stalemate here, and I think Voigt's working out Evans a little bit. The bigger body starting to wear him down.
Watson at ground level, couldn't control it.
Watson had his jumper held onto. Great hands there by Smart. To Doherty. Doherty punches it forward, deep into forward 50. There's pace at the ball there. Linky just went in like a bull terrier there. He'll be, I think he's wearing somebody's hip there.
I just gave Clinch a bit of stick, but he's hit that ball with a bit of pace.
Absolutely. Clinchy just the ball and the man.
He is a very prolific ball getter and just reads the ball beautifully off half back.
Douse. We haven't really called Douse today either. Beautiful mover and good user of the ball. He's been very quiet.
He goes short.
Hahn.
Picked it up. I'm not sure if even an English cricketer would claim that.
Umpire calls for ball up.
Yeah, Stuart Broad would have claimed it, but not many others.
Linky in the ruck for Tanunda. A clean miss there by the Willaston player. I believe we're going to call that a high
tackle. So this is going to result in a shot on goal for Tanunda.
I think it might be young Hart, is it? No. Oh no, it looks like young Porter. Oh no, Cowan. There we go. Can't even get him right. Yeah, Cowan. And
he's not afraid to get down and dirty. That's one of the things I like. Often you'll see young players come back from SANFL clubs and they're great with their skills and their flair, but often getting down and dirty isn't their thing. I like that about Cowan.
His father was very much like that. His father was very, very much like that.
He puts kicks there, just about puts the game to bed, I reckon.
That is just offline.
19 points, 8 minutes into the last.
Still plenty of time left. Willaston will not stop. Fry goes long out of defence, kicks that good 65 metres.
Doherty rows the pack there, picks it up to Smith. Smith quick handball to Smart. Smart's drilling ball to Jack May in the pocket, in front of the scoreboard.
Jack May should be just on his range.
I think he might be pushing it. He'd be looking for a lead, I think.
The wind's not really going to be a factor. As we see Wildman coming to the bench.
Young Linky,
no, it's young Linky. Tyson Linky.
Yep. May's put it to the deep into the forward and it's been punched through.
Through for a minor score.
20-point game. Still too close to call at this stage.
Comes down the near side, kicks it to the flank, nearly a mark to Earlham. He jumps in with a big tackle. And Westhoff at the bottom of the pack gets up slowly. Good tap there from Falkenberg.
McKenzie's pushed forward as well, boys. That's really dangerous.
So McKenzie playing deep with Doherty standing in. Lots of pointing. We've got Gers coming out. Goes to Walton.
Good hit there from Voigt.
Hoskins picked the ball up.
Goes on the left. Can't get past the big man from Tanunda and Voigt.
More than happy to keep playing at this stage and look for an opening and an option, I think. It's a patient game here by Tanunda.
He's starting to have a really good, big influence on Hoskins. He's been good in really influential in the second half.
Absolutely, high ball. Linky goes up. That was a high leap there. The clearance there across the halfback line to Wilson to Cormac, I believe. Connolly, Cormac to Connolly.
Tanunda have set up really well behind the footy here, boys.
You're right, Wilson. They've just stopped them. That run should have been quick. Smith just spoils it into the car park. Again, that's the difference. You know, when Tanunda's been pushing forward, they've been running over the lines, they've been breaking it. Wilson been really stagnant across that centre.
No overlap at all. And unrewarded running is just not happening from the Willaston point of view.
It just ends up burning you out, doesn't it? So,
do you think it's too early just to go up the guts? Or?
No, it's not too early because they've got to get back into this game before they can win it.
So we look at again, you know, that beautiful clean ball use with a leading Jared Trainer going out to the fat side, and he's clean and clear.
I'd take offence to that term fat side just because I'm sitting on this side of the ground.
I'm balancing things out. So Trainer coming in, he's going to be kicking from about 44, 45 metres.
Distance we know isn't an issue. Bangs that hard. Yeah, and he's very happy with it. You can hear the roar.
That's it.
Love that.
That's leadership. Vice captain of the club.
He's such a big, important part of the club too. He's a culture guy. He was when he was at Barossa Districts, and I'm sure he's brought that to Tanunda in spades.
That's a huge goal in the context of this game. It's going to take something really special for Willaston to pull her way back. We're going to need to kick another 5 goals to win.
A quick clearance here is definitely what they need. We're now 12 minutes into the fourth quarter.
On the Birds Barossa scoreboard, it's 11-12-78 for Tanunda to Willaston 7-10-52. Seems in the context of the day that's a pretty critical goal there. It might have just put it out of reach.
And they're up again.
Evans got on the ruck. I'd love to see him on the ground right now.
And big don't argue from Willaston there.
Earlham, hands.
That handball got battered down, but around the corner.
Big snap.
Jaden Watson has snapped it
Out
so
on the
far
full.
out.
I think in a game like this where it's going to be one now, they're going to win it, and Evans just on the bench. I think they've got that timing wrong.
It does seem odd, doesn't it? And you've got Voigt that's been dominant against Zach East.
Good kick from
Linky.
Doherty to keep it in.
Linky's got it.
Here we go.
Callum. Beautiful delivery to a bleeding ruckman.
Beautiful, but he was well spoiled. Clean from behind. Good old school defence there,
He'll be wearing it behind the ear there, I think.
but nothing untoward.
No, play on.
Oh, big early fly from
Gers is
Gers.
going to get
That's going to be
done
a
on
free kick.
Waltuda
Absolutely, every day of the week. He was up way too early.
before acceptances, higher than Joe Cocker.
That's a very. Most of our listeners probably don't know who Joe Cocker is.
That went over my head.
I am showing my age now.
Called advantage, I think. I think it's a goal.
Did we call? I have absolutely no. I didn't even see the goal go through.
They're celebrating.
Yes, they are signalling a goal, so they would have to be very happy with that with Donnybrook. That's a very quick reply.
Take that, 20 points now.
So back to within 20 points, but it's going to be very hard to get back from here.
And the only way that they're going to win this game is if they take risks and use the corridor. And Tanunda so far have controlled the corridor really well. So it's going to take something really out of the ordinary.
Tanunda are happy for Willaston to play around on the outer. Watson with the attack there.
Cowan, quick movement to space. Trainer
Put himself in position there. No way that Childs was going to get around that big back end of Trainer. It's almost like the back end of a Volkswagen Beetle.
And that also shows the difference in ruck. You know, you got the second ruckman against the leading ruckman. The ball straight out, quick movement, really classy ball out to open space to a leading forward that you trust that he's going to make the ground. He's going to get those extra 5 metres.
But also one who's red hot at the moment. Has taken a few marks and felt the ball in his hands. He's confident now.
Coming in.
Has seen the ball go through the middle.
And he slotted it.
And has drilled it. That's what good players do.
That is a fantastic, really fast response there.
And just deflating for any Willaston supporters out there. They've worked so hard to score that last goal. And then straight away, centre clearance, goal.
That's Tanunda at their best. Quick ball movement, decisive, and just beat you by using skill.
Hey Wilson, you mentioned earlier today that Tanunda has got a great record against Willaston at this ground. It is a fortress for him, and it's been something that's been really drilled in for a very long time here. You protect your own dung heap, and we can see that happening now.
See a little bit of push and shove in the middle now. Mackenzie copping a bit of attention from Doherty. See a free kick going the way of Willaston.
It's Tyson Earlham.
Earlham receives one for over the shoulder. He moves the ball quickly. And Waltuda flew at that, but well defended.
Walton struggling to bend over there.
To be fair, he is just busy breeding the next
Walton's
generation.
just thrown one to Dowse, and Dowse did not do anything really there. Don't want to lose that.
Little biff in the
There he
pocket
goes.
here. Guys just swapping
Phone numbers.
information, just saying you
That's
follow
the-
me on Instagram, I'll follow you.
That's the most activity we've seen from Holloway all day. And he came in second best. Another good clear tap. Great touch there from Tanunda. Cahoon, quick on the boot.
Dribbles along the ground, but that'll be a free kick going Willaston's way for last touch.
Yep.
Fry, he'll deliver this deep into the forward line, I'd expect.
What are you saying? He's not balding?
From some angles, it looks like he is.
I'll leave that up to you, but yeah, I'm defending the guy.
He has appeared on Zoom TV wearing a wig.
There's some willingness going in there. There's some activity happening in the Willaston forward line. We wouldn't want to see Willaston revert back to some of the old dim dark days. It's noted, but it's been a great contest to date.
It takes two to tango, Dan.
You don't back down, mate.
That's right.
But it's not as if both sides haven't had the opportunity to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and at this stage, Tanunda showing the results of that.
That clearing soccer, that's just clever.
That is clever.
Really good tackle.
That's a
laid there.
great tackle. Young Linky there. That was a fantastic tackle.
That's the kind of tackle that wins games.
Willaston was set up well behind the ball here. If Tanunda get it out quickly, it's all them, it's all Willaston.
Fraser is on his own back there. He's an unmarked man.
Ball up again. And beautiful take from
East.
Oscar, but he's wrapped up
Wrapped
immediately.
Another pushing shot.
Oh! There was...
And the umpire's having a serious
bit
think
of
about
activity.
this one.
There's a bit of activity going on. There's a couple more than just swapping phone numbers here.
Here we go. This is not what we encourage.
Crowd getting vocal.
As you hear the Tanunda faithful starting the scoreboard chant. Wilson, calm down.
Reckon the umpire might be better off just balling the ball up, getting the game started.
And now they are, the boundary throwing about to commence. Players starting to calm down a little bit.
You're an idiot, one of the calls from the crowd.
And it's an under free
And the
kick
free
right
kick
from the
going away
start
out
because
to
of the head-on
Tanunda.
contact.
They switch the ball quickly. They're not going to protect their lead. They want to go for it and extend it. That chip kick inside, that's a good kick, well marked. He's going to go back and have a shot at this.
Is Hoskin having a kick?
Mackenzie, he's got to take responsibility and nail this.
You have to kick it from 50 if he's going to goal up.
Stuttering run up. Up and under.
Looking kick.
Got the distance. He's through the middle. He keeps the Donnybrooks alive.
What time do we have here?
We are 20 minutes into the final quarter. So you have to think the stoppages will be going at least another 8 to 10 minutes.
Back to a 20-point game. 8-12,
It's
84
it's the
to
20
9,
points
10
that
to
they
60.
haven't been able to bridge that gap.
It's their first quarter that's coming back to haunt them, where they 7 goals to essentially 0, and they've won the rest of the game. But if you don't start on an even footing, well, then you're always going to be behind, aren't you?
Evans in the rock again now. I would have loved to have seen this 10 minutes ago when the game was in the balance. I think it's too little too late.
Yeah, you'd have to think that there's been a bit missed there, but equally, Voigt's off the ground as well, back to Falkenberg. So
I think Falkenberg is the best ruckman Tanunda have got, though.
Schiller's tackle, outstanding.
Wins the free kick, that's what he does.
Bit of advice in the crowd up here.
And we haven't even got Ralph Biaggi in the house today.
No, missing. Long kick from
And
Schiller, and Linky's attack on the ball, outstanding.
made sure that the ball was not lost.
Neutralised the contest there.
With 5 minutes left to go on the game, the West Ends are taking it a bit too good, I reckon.
Good hydrated crowd. Country footy's all about passion, that's what we love.
That's what we love.
That's why we're here.
We've got Void on the ground now, rucking against Evans to finish off the game.
We don't
by
have
looks.
golf claps. Schiller was tripped there by accident.
Right in front of the grandstand here. With a few little love taps from everybody. Was just pushing his opponent straight out and then lays a beautiful tackle.
Mackenzie took the ball under one arm. Good
Smith
take
has
there.
wrapped up his man. And he's
Should be
called
holding the
it.
ball, yes. He took him on.
There's still some dispute from the crowd, but that was
Thomas
free.
Downey that tried to break the tackle but couldn't.
You ain't getting away from the Tanunda captain there.
Good tackle.
He goes laterally.
To Douse.
You think Tanunda are just going to try and run the clock down here, not do anything
Too early for
silly.
that.
Long ball.
Goes long.
ball to Voigt. Collins.
Voigt makes sure that it just goes over the line. He wants another chance to get his hands on the footy at the throw-in. That's Ruckman love that.
And the big body against young Evans here is starting to take. The big fellas don't get any smaller, do they?
Almost Jackie Chan that out of the ruck.
Might be high.
No, the umpire's gonna take the ball himself.
Sunglass wearing umpire.
Good umpire Merch.
Quick ball movement, and that's going to be a last out, I believe.
Last touch going the way of Tanunda.
That's the captain. Umpire
Matthew
bringing it back.
Westhoff running into the middle of the ground here.
Going to go long down the line.
That's safe.
Linky pushed into the contest there, and at the bottom for a guy that he saw great hands out. Watson has just jumped three blokes to lay a tackle, and that was absolutely fantastic.
Some of these players are absolutely spent.
Watson
There's
is
not
going
much
to become
speeding
a
at
fan.
all.
Watson's quickly going to become a fan favourite here at Tanunda.
Absolutely.
They're going to adopt him as a favourite son.
I reckon, Wilson, you're absolutely right. This has been a physically draining contest.
Good clearing kick. Oh, Guilfoy, that's courage, going back with the flight. He takes his
Go
time
down the
here.
line again, because there's no one leading again.
It's a long 50 to 60 metre kick.
Oh,
Cowan uses the ball.
Watson was
Watson.
smothered. Earlham now.
With ball use.
He's quick through the middle of the ground.
Watson.
Watson.
Watson's got Waldhooter on the run. And Schiller, the smaller man, does a great job.
Well done, Schiller.
Henschke
Henschke
snaps.
around the corner. And that is his second brilliant goal of the day.
That'll be his third.
But that's his second brilliant one.
Well, actually, I thought the one that came off of his knee was pretty amazing.
That's the one we're all going to remember.
That brings it back to a 16-point game. It's too little, too late. Who knows? 14-point game. If I do my maths right there.
Counting's not your thing, remember?
I told you that. I'm really good with a hammer.
Your wife would probably disagree. Not enough repairs being done around the house. As we are 26 minutes into the final quarter here at Tanunda.
There's a whistle.
A whistle. Is it blood?
Yes.
Or is it umpire in the switch? You can get somebody on. Walton running on.
Replacing Waldhooter, who might have another scar on that rough lid.
If they were going to win, I think it's going to take Waldhooter, so I think they might struggle now.
Evans got that ruck tap, but a free kick going the way of Tanunda, I believe.
High tackle. That's it. Evans on Wildman.
Wildman goes, runs on, goes deep. That's a really good mark taken from Linky.
Phenomenal
He's taken
body work.
every kind of mark today. He's taken athletic.
Dylan Jones
Yeah.
hasn't had an answer against him. at all. His athleticism, his flexibility.
His smarts for a young player. The way he leant there.
And he's got some freaky angles he gets to.
He's got some strength.
That was just some awesome forward craft. He knew where the ball was going to drop and just pushed it at the right time.
Just needs to finish this off. Kicks that beautifully. That's a really good goal from Linky. And he has punched another dagger into the Willaston Hearts. He's been terrific today.
Watching young Wildman as he, after he kicked the ball, and you could see the cramp starting. He's been a running machine today.
Yeah.
Yards gained or metres gained in that sort of statistic.
He is elite.
Many, many hundreds.
I'd like to have a tracker on him just to see how far he's got.
Lots. Yeah, it's really good to see these kids that
Local.
You watch them come in as mini Colts and then they're playing A-grade footy. It's fantastic.
That's another thing about local footy that we love, is seeing families and family dynasties flourish.
Mount Westhoff again, marshalling off half-back. Gives a bit of an easy one up there.
Willaston now with a chance.
Ball's
out the back.
Really,
Walton
that's a clever goal.
goes off the shin, but that's a really good goal from the super veteran.
On the left as well, opposite foot.
It's probably better than his right foot these days.
To be honest, I was worried he was going to be losing his feet. It looked like he was struggling to get one in front of the other. But
No, I don't think that was ever a danger. The way this game's gone, he'd be pretty frustrated right now, and getting that goal would make him feel a little bit better.
a pretty high scoring game here today. It's been played in the right spirit, bit of spirit in it, and some really, really.
As we see one of the locals walk past, he's getting ready to celebrate Mr. Heath Closey, a legend around these parts.
Cowham out of the middle again. He's knocked up getting the ball. Linky,
What a pickup for a guy his size.
delivers to his forward counterpart and train.
Oh, what a mark. Turned his opponent, Childs, inside out and just judged that perfectly. Childs is being bullied now.
And Linky was back in the goal square before Train had a chance to turn his back.
Just smart. That's
dedication.
the hard work from Tanunda's players when they don't have the ball is what has set them apart today from mine. Their willingness to work for each other, unrewarded run has been terrific.
And it's just allowed,
He punches that through for yet another goal.
it's allowed the likes of these boys, Linky and
Trainer.
to get free because they've worked hard and they've got outnumbers.
They're allowed to go one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or into space. And this smart kick that's 5 metres out in front of your forward. You know, that ability to be able to cut through, you see drop tackles by the defence has allowed this to happen, and it's been the difference in the game.
And contrastingly, I don't think I've seen that from Willaston as much. Like the forwards haven't had that ability to go one-on-one because Tanunda have worked hard and got numbers behind the footy.
That's it.
Voigt
Voigt
to
to Cowham. Voigt to Cowham.
That was Linky, sorry.
Down to Linky.
A real
Linky's-
fingertipper mark.
It was amazing.
That's it. He's taken every kind of mark today.
Yep,
Taking time off the clock here.
absolutely. And it was
Maturity.
it was delivery by Wildman again. Just
As
There
the
we go.
siren goes, we've still got this kick to come. Linky leans back and shanks the hell out of it. He'll be pretty disappointed with that, but he's put together a magnificent game today. As the siren sounds, final scores here from Tanunda. Tanunda 14 goal 12 96, taking care of Willaston 11 goal 10 76. It looked like a closer game than it actually was.
Good game of footy though, I think. Willaston had their opportunities in that second quarter, kicking 5 in a row just about, and then
they kicked 5 in the last quarter to almost run home. But then for Tanunda to kick 4-2 in the last quarter just separated it, and that wasn't the scoring end. And I think when it comes down to it, we brought it up earlier, leg speed, fitness, that really showed out there. But what a great game of football, I think, all round, and a fantastic game of country footy that's at the highest level there.
Absolutely magnificent day, and really great day to enjoy Tanunda's new facility, round 2, but Tanunda's first home game. Been a joy being with you, gentlemen. Wilson, welcome to the team. We're looking forward to having you back this season. And Dan, always a pleasure. You are a font of knowledge and a few other things.
Thank you.
And thank you to Ben Murray for getting us through the final quarter.
No trouble, and all the best to all the clubs this season. We look forward to it, and let's hope we get some rain soon.
And
be nice.
Be sure to tune in Anzac Day. We've got the big Anzac Day clash between Angaston and Uriapa, and on Saturday we have the game coming from Freeling hosting Kapunda, and a real rivalry round.
Fantastic. All the best.
Thanks.